Norocel part 3, let's say. So, I don't know the name of this village. It was, I mentioned yesterday, uh, about 60 kilometers south. It was near the Danube, by the way, because I remember once or twice we went through the to the shore near the big river. And I think we even tried to swim or something. And one night, these fellas, which belonged to a different group, we were aliens to them. We were also bizarre in some way. I mean, we felt different. Norocel was, as I said, lucky to be born. He was short and had this manner of speaking in a special way. He was special, as I say now. Not disability. He was extraordinarily clever. He remembered plays by heart. He was a fan of Pitish, Trojan Pitish, and he was going there regularly. He saw performances in the hundreds, I don't know, of PMT, Poezia Muzicii Tinere, the poetry of young music or something like that, in an approximate translation, with the poetry of Walt Whitman. Again, he knew Song of Myself, from Leaves of Grass, thousands of lines. Păunescu, alas, he was controversial, but now he's clearly a representative of the tyranny. He also knew poems of that guy and so much more. I mean, he was a brilliant mind. Genius, we have to be careful with these words. I've read somewhere. We can't say everybody. Just a few geniuses. Shakespeare, Einstein. You can't say, Brad Pitt is a genius or something like that. We have to be careful, because then we diminish the term. Plus, there is that thing Thomas Mann wrote in a short story. There was a character who was aghast at hearing people around him. Oh, I love you so much. There are no words to express this. And our friendship again it's too great for words. And he says, the character there, Thomas Mann, through him, that's wrong. Words like love, friendship mean much more than we see in the real world. We only see true love. These words exist. I mean, the feelings, the emotions behind them are there only in art, in literature. Because love dies in real world often. In fact, there is a psychological phenomenon called the honeymoon effect. After 2 years, many relationships tend to disintegrate because of Coolidge effect. Another thing, we like someone not because it's better, but because she or he is new. But let me not digress too much. So, terminăm. Returning to that practice, one night from the group, they came and started singing something like Prea frumoasă zaraza, something, a drinking song, and they were mocking the two of us because we didn't belong. We came at a different, later stage, and as I said, he was in appearance, both in appearance. We were the odd couple, a different story altogether. I was reading Romain Rolland. That's something I remember. There's an image I have. Capiță de fân. There was some hay, a haystack in that area, and when we could relax, could afford to spend some time off the fields, off picking up potatoes, whatever it was. I was reading this there, and Norocel probably something else. And he would recite once in a while. He would say from, as I said, from Walt Whitman, from this or that other play. He was a genius. And Libra, horoscope, this thing is silly. Even if I've read somewhere, Darak Tamash, Romanian Hungarian novelist, he had a novel I loved very much. I don't know about today if I read it again. An intellectual, something about an intellectual, something with some adventures, some Don Giovanni activity. But he was speculating there, saying, okay, astrology is about the position of the stars, and there is something in there, because according to their different positions, there's a flux of particles coming from outside, and it varies, and it makes sense to think that this different position, different flux, different influence. But then again, it's silly, because what you have is, in every sign of the zodiac, you have, let's say, I don't know, but you have Hitler and Gandhi in the same. So what do you do about it? I mean, is that sign going to give you the Hitlers? Or are they going, I mean, how do you balance this? And then again, Paul Bloom. I recommend lectures online. You have lectures from Yale, free, I mean the free ones, from Harvard, Stanford, you name it. And there's this guy with the psychology courses, and he was talking yesterday about, I mean, yesterday I was looking, well, he talked maybe 10 years ago, so about the horoscope and how they have such elements in them that you can't say they're wrong, because it's too vague. And he was giving us a joke as an example of the opposite. Something from The Onion, I think it's a funny newspaper. You will have two candles. I'm making this up. I don't remember. Just one element is true, that with the portrait, you have two candles and you walk with them, and then the police will stop you and take you in eventually, maybe, because you look like the drawn portrait of a man who was wanted, something. Okay, so we were saying that's a good one, because if it comes true, I mean, if the police really stop you and say that you look like this, then you're onto something here. Otherwise, so Norocel was a Libra, and I'm an Aquarius, and they say that it's a match. Okay, I mean, and they fit together, but otherwise it's silly. Okay, we'll come back with this.